Hey there, my darlings. It is time for the Moonday reading for the week coming up here. So we're going to look at a little energy that is affecting us, our multidimensional selves, based on the moon's influence this week. So our moon's moving out of Taurus at the beginning of the week, and we'll be going into Gemini, then into Cancer, and then into Leo. So we're going to be experiencing a lot of shifts. So anything that was concerning more of our value system is now going to shift into maybe creating communication and inner networking, maybe some new ideas that we have about some values that have come into play from the early part of the week. And then we may be really trying to secure some of that with our family unit or within our home, really trying to live those values sincerely. And then even extending them out into a platform, out into the world a little bit more, and seeing how they interact in the world itself. And they'll be a little bit tested. You'll get some feedback and you'll know how anything that you've shifted here has been perceived and will be being received as well by the people and things in your environment. So we'll see if the cards kind of speak on any of this as well. We have a very interesting set out. For sure, they feel very active, so this energy may be playing out as well, where the week could feel exceptionally just busy, but in a way that is kind of nice. Like there's a lot of healthy distractions in a way, a lot of things taking our attention that seem to be bringing us to a level of engagement, maybe not such a strong feeling of isolation and peace and calm and quietude. But this is definitely not an energy that feels, at least from this first glance, that's feeling caustic or anything like that. So we will look a little bit emotionally here at what's going on with us physically, and then take a look at our higher selves. These are collective readings, so the energies coming out should be speaking more towards the world stage and feel fairly broad in their perspective. So I'm going to take just a moment here to tune in to anything that needs to come through for us. So I'm getting this feeling of things need to get turned upside down in a way, because it's going to help things move. There's going to be less stagnation. Things need to come out that may have been hidden. Things that were in our pockets, we need to maybe turn us upside down and shake us out or something. Let things come out that need to be exposed a little bit more. Nothing major. It doesn't feel like this is revolutionary in scale by any means, but maybe just the small things. And sometimes it is the small details that do make big differences, though. So I would say pay attention to the small details, and maybe even look at them in a perspective that you were not looking at them before is also a strong message coming through. That ability to just take the opposing viewpoint. Anytime that you're arguing with anyone, even with yourself, there should always be a counter argument. Taking anyone's perspective where they haven't argued their argument and a counter argument and created a synthesis of the two coming together to create their authentic truth, I would say is highly questionable. So it may be some of that energy really needing to examine things from a different perspective so that you know that you've looked at the other side of things before you are making decisions. Okay, let me see what else would like to come through here. I think that you are going to be, again, in this sort of reverse position that I'm getting even from our first card. What may have normally felt like an emotional way of dealing with something, you may be handling with more logic this week. Perhaps even vice versa. These two energies you may find are easily flippable. And that may be why you're able to take these different perspectives a little bit easier, a position that you maybe would have examined logically, you may be looking at through a more irrational lens now, or vice versa. I would definitely push towards viewing the emotional with more logic at this time, if I were to say one was stronger than the other. And yeah, there's something else coming in here about the appearance of things, the illusion, the flash, the distraction of something that appears very, very splendid. And that would normally be able to posture because of this, that would have an assumed authority because of the way it is appearing, and would have a certain amount of respect for that. There is a cautioning in a way that is very strange in relation to this energy, because it's almost like it's not the normal response that one would probably have. It's a very counterintuitive response. So you may be finding yourself, especially emotionally this week, taking a stance that you normally would not choose to do for very counterintuitive reasons. But yet it seems very important to do this in a way that not only is it stated once, in a way it's like validated. There is a reinforcement of this message that, and I'm very much getting in the emotions, that if you are finding yourself emotionally triggered, that the position that you need to take and where you, for like both ends, both perspectives that you may potentially be arguing, you need to find the peace in both of those perspectives. And by saying that, I think that you need to find the truth, the peace, therefore, in both sides of the stories. And when you have found the peace, there I think you will find your understanding. When you know that you're in a state of peace, that's simply the position that you want to be in dealing with this. It's very important. Okay, so now I'm going to move over to the physical aspect here. Yeah, I just got very emotional in a way that made me feel like an action could have happened, like too much could have been performed before thinking it through. Like there could have been a harmful emotional reaction that caused a lot of damage, in a way that this may be very detrimental. Like the type of thing like you wish that you could take back but you couldn't. It's that harmful. So I highly caution us to watch our emotional triggers this week and wanting to react in any way that's not peaceful. This could be in the home and with the family especially, and amongst the generations. This emotional wounding is definitely ancestral, as in a pattern that's been handed down, a programming. And we have not put enough emphasis on deprogramming that. So we're kind of emotionally inept here, considering where we're being called to be. So I think this is a trial here that's like, can we make it through? Can we evolve? Can we choose peace over a potentially even violent reaction? Yeah, not good. So if you act in a way that eventually you may regret here, there's always a distancing that happens with that, and then a trial to have to heal all that. So, it just may do more harm than good for the objective that you really want to achieve. Because even though we may have the impulse through early programming, reptilian brain programming here, to push away something that seems harmful because it's hurting us emotionally, we may need to look at the other perspective to really understand it, to come to a state of peace about it. Because that creating more distance between yourself and others through this conflict is not going to heal it. It's going to be counter to your true vision for what you want. Yeah, and here the message for the card that's our helper card is, you will have the motivation you need to express your light. Know that what you do today makes the world a better place. And that's really ultimately what you want to end up with. Like, you don't want to end up with makes the world a worse place scenario. So always protect your long-term investment, especially in your emotional relationships. Okay, let me look here at what wants to come through from the higher self. So inner alignment, peace with yourself. Peace starts with you. Finding your inner calm, centering yourself, considering your perspective as a person that's, beyond your family unit, beyond your ancestors. You're connected to something bigger than that, even. These bonds are very important, but you also have eternal bonds. Connect with your sacred self, your higher self. And then we have this very strong frequency that comes through. In a way, this is calling on us to be healers. I feel like we're definitely being tested in some way here that is going to really activate that part of ourself that requires us to step out of the human drama, to be enmeshed in these roles and really identify with our higher capacities to function. And through that we can heal, because we're no longer playing games. There's no score. We're not having a battle. It's not about winning. It's about healing. It's just really important. I'm going to bring this card closer to the camera so you can see this. If you want to meditate on that energy, feel that. And then we have, this energy that's coming up as in our helper card that is representing the heart space. So again, for me, this is about emotional healing. Very much. So you may find, if you're getting triggered here, that maybe keeping a lot of green around you may be quite helpful. You may also want to take a time out and do something that you find really invigorating, like get a lot of exercise, go on a big powerful walk or something, go to the gym, perhaps if you can. Do something that you find challenging, something that really absorbs you into a different aspect of yourself that engages your mind and your body and lifts you away from the drama, because I think it will help give you some strength and some distance, but the healthy distance that you may need than the quick reaction. Yeah, I can't stop getting this really intense feeling of just be cautious, be careful, protect yourself, lead from your higher self, do the right thing, know what that is, know where your values are, where you should be acting from. Always live in your integrity, yeah. I don't know, even my heart's kind of racing a little bit. So I don't normally get triggered like this. And I'm not saying that this is going to, unfold. I'm not trying to project that. I'm reading what I'm getting here. But I guess, like, in the end, the overall vibe is like, we may be challenged and we have the strength within us. We have the faculties that we have been cultivating that we may not have been able to kind of show off yet, but they're there, and we may even be able to surprise ourselves how well we are at handling anything that comes through, because we truly want to have the peace, to have the healing. So I think that this is just going to be a very opportunistic week where we can maybe surprise ourselves with some strengths that we just really didn't know that we were capable of possessing. Yeah, okay. I hope that this was helpful. Please check out, if you'd like, I have daily chakra readings. You're more than welcome to check those out. And I will be opening up a link below later in this week with some of my other readings. If you want to book with me online, you're more than welcome to do that for a private reading. Okay, sending you so many blessings. Please take really good care. Thank you.